What's up, Laker fam? Welcome back to my channel. Alrighty, there has been a lot going on in Lakerland. Recently, Jeannie Buss gave a pretty explosive interview. She disclosed a lot about the purple and gold, talked about how upset she was that the Lakers did not make the playoffs this season. She definitely does not want to see that happen again, as obviously we don't either. But she confirmed one of the biggest rumors that Phil Jackson is returning to help the Lakers with some off-season decisions. I am at my local mall right now and I want to hear from my Laker fam, see if they are excited about Phil Jackson coming back, see if they agree with him, if the reports are of course true, that he wants to keep Russell Westbrook and LeBron James and so much more. So let's get this video started. Alrighty, so Jeannie Buss recently gave an interview, pretty explosive, talked about how upset she was about the Lakers previous season, as we all were, but she also confirmed that Phil Jackson is going to be helping the Lakers this offseason, making some of their offseason decisions. Now, Phil Jackson is reportedly in favor of keeping Russell Westbrook and trading LeBron James. Do you agree with that?
It depends on who Phil wants to bring over. I think the pieces have to fit. I think at the beginning of the season, on paper, it didn't sound good to me with Russ, LeBron, AD. There was no real spacing on the floor. So if you want to keep Russ, you're going to have to get some shooters. You have to get some spacing. Because Russ, for one, doesn't play off the ball. That's why him and LeBron didn't work out. You know what I mean? LeBron at the tail end of his career, but still, LeBron's numbers from last year compared to Russ's last year was still amazing. So for him to be at his tail end, I would stick with LeBron. I would keep LeBron and trade Russ.
You would trade Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
Even though if we trade Russ, we're obviously going to have to match salaries. That's $42 million. We're going to have to get some new players in who most likely will have some contracts that are for the next couple of years, whereas Russell Westbrook only has one more year on his contract. So I don't really want to keep Russell Westbrook. I agree. I don't think he's a good fit for this team, but we keep him for one more year. Then we have free reign, $42 million to spend next offseason.
Yeah, that's great. So it's going to be another year to where we're not going to be that good.
Yeah.
We may or may not make the play-in. As Laker fans, we're spoiled. We don't shoot for play-ins. We shoot for championships. So I do understand your point of saying we have all that free cap space next season, but I don't know who would want to come and play with Russ though versus playing with LeBron. Who wants to come play with Russ? It's LA. Don't get me wrong. If you got money, you're a ball player. You want to be in LA. It's the place to be. But would you rather play with Russ or would you rather play with LeBron?
Reportedly, Phil Jackson wants the Lakers to keep Russell Westbrook and trade LeBron James. Do you agree with that?
Hell no. LeBron James is a franchise all-time greatest player. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a LeBron James fan, but I'm more of a Kobe fan. But I respect that man, especially for his age. So he's getting close to like 40 years old, and he's still amazing, man.
Okay, I'm a big Kobe fan too. Now it's interesting you brought up LeBron James' age. Obviously this past year missed a lot of games with injuries. His body is definitely catching up to him, unfortunately. And Russ only missed one game last season. So while Russ maybe didn't have the best season, he was durable. He stayed healthy all year. Are you concerned at all that LeBron James is not going to be able to make it through another season?
Well, eventually, Father Time is gonna catch up with him, but I believe in his training and stuff. So he makes sure he stays in shape. I'm pretty sure he stays on his diet. So he's doing all that he needs to do to stay as young as he can for as long as he can. So
reportedly, Phil Jackson is in favor of keeping Russell Westbrook and trading LeBron James. Do you agree with that?
I personally like Russell Westbrook as a player, but I disagree with that decision because this season LeBron still did very well. He was doing very well. He was playing excellent, and I think it's a mistake to trade LeBron James. And I think we should keep LeBron. It's hard to say because of his age, but I think he can stay healthy because as you can see in the season that he played very well. It's just that the Lakers we had a lot of bad games and stuff. But I think we should keep LeBron, but trade him soon because of his age, because we can't always rely on LeBron.
That's very true. If you're thinking about the Lakers' future, if we were to trade LeBron James, we would obviously be able to get a ton of really, really talented, probably younger players. Whereas, if we keep kind of just balancing this team and really forming a team around LeBron James, we're going to have a lot of the same like we did this last year. LeBron, AD, maybe Russell Westbrook, and then a bunch of these kind of, 1-year veteran minimum players, which I don't know necessarily if it's the best situation for the Lakers. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think it's the best situation either, to be honest, because I think that we should have younger players. Although LeBron James is a really good player, the first question was if we should trade him instead of Russ. But the thing is that I don't think we should trade him instead of Russ. But at the same time, I don't think we should build around him. We should build around like the younger players.
I would say no. Personally, I think the whole reason Russell Westbrook was brought to the Lakers is to take the ease and the load off LeBron and Anthony Davis, who's very injury prone. And last season, he just showed that he just, as good as he used to be, he can't do that anymore. He's been slower, less athletic, dumber with the ball. I think we should keep LeBron James, but I think we should kind of keep him out the general manager role and have Jeannie Buss, Phil Jackson, and the rest of the organization just make the changes they need. Because gathering the team with a bunch of old people and big names proved to not work.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: if we keep LeBron James, obviously, I think we're keeping LeBron James. For everything in that interview, Jeannie Buss pretty much confirmed, listen, we're going to be, making this team this next season, surrounding LeBron and AD. There are two superstars. But here's the thing: if we do that, we don't have any money to go out and spend on these other players. We're going to have a very similar team where we go out and we sign a bunch of guys with just 1 year veteran minimum deal. So, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think it's kind of a recipe for a disaster again?
I mean, one thing we could do, I know Russell Westbrook has an expiring contract next season, so maybe we could trade him to a team that is willing to take that salary for that 1 year and get some assets back that would match that, like whatever, $40-something million. That would give us good shooters and role players to help us win the championship next year. Because with LeBron being old, AD injury prone, we should be in win now mode.
Okay, I love that you brought that up, because that is one of the reasons why I may actually be in favor of keeping Russell Westbrook, because he only has 1 more year on his contract. That's $42 million that we get to spend next offseason, as opposed to going out and trading him this summer, getting 2-3 players who probably most likely will have at least 2-3 more years on their contract. We're kind of locked into keeping them, versus next offseason we keep Russ, we kind of see what this team can do this next year. Obviously we didn't really get a good chance to see it because they were injured so much, and then maybe we start from scratch next offseason. What do you think about that, or do you just think no, we just still trade him, get some new guys in there, it's never going to work?
I could definitely see that. I mean, with every decision you make, there is a risk. Because Russell Westbrook, I guess, can, next season come out and, prove us all wrong.
Yeah.
So I guess that since there is only 1 year left on his contract, maybe we could see, next year, have him on the team. And if it doesn't work, then, like you said, we have the money to sign other players. But if he does help us win a championship, maybe we can re-sign him for another deal.
Exactly. Okay. Now, if we keep Russell Westbrook and we keep LeBron James, which, like I said, I think we're keeping LeBron James. I don't see us trading LeBron unless he demands a trade. I don't think he's going to do that. What do you think the best fit for Russ is? Do you think he could be in that starting lineup with LeBron and AD, or do you think it's just too many ball-dominant players, it's not going to work? Do you think maybe it's best for Russ to come off the bench, and do you think Russ would ever even do that?
That's a really interesting question, because with basketball, there's a lot of politics on the starting lineup and stuff. I would say in that sense, you should keep Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup, but I feel like you should stagger his minutes with LeBron, because when you have LeBron on the court and then you have Russell Westbrook on the court, you kind of see Russell Westbrook just standing in the corner, and that's not really what he does. So I think you should keep him in the starting lineup, but sub him out a few minutes in, and then have him rotate minutes with LeBron and AD, and maybe he could play together with AD, but he shouldn't really be on the court with LeBron that much.
Recently, Patrick Beverley, you hate him unless he's on your team. He has been going off recently, talking all sorts of shit lately.
Yeah, right.
But he recently said he obviously wants to stay with his team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, but if he were to go to another team, the only other player he would really want to play with is none other than LeBron James. Would you want to have Patrick Beverley on the purple and gold this next season?
No, I will not. Pat's an energy guy. Like I said, we need spacing, we need shooters. Pat's not a 2-point guard. No, I don't care if it's antics. I don't want him on my team. I'm not a fan of Pat Beverly. No.
I personally am not either. He makes me kind of want to.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him.
If we were to keep Russell Westbrook, do you think it would be the best for Russ to be in that starting lineup with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, or do you think absolutely not? It's too many guys who want to dominate the ball. It's going to clog the lane too much. It's not the best situation. Should we have Russell Westbrook coming off the bench? And do you even think Russ would do that? I personally don't think he would ever do that. What do you think?
So I personally like Russell Westbrook as a player, but I think that he should come off the bench because it's too many ball-dominant players all in the same starting lineup. But I feel like if Russell Westbrook comes off the bench, where he's the one dominant player, then I feel like that would make the situation a lot easier and a lot better. But I don't think Russ would want to come off the bench. But
Yeah, I don't think Russell Westbrook would ever come off. Even though I agree, I think he would be much better as kind of being that sixth man for us. I think it's very clear that him, LeBron, and AD, it's just not going to work. That chemistry isn't there. But I know Russ, and he's not going to be willing to come off the bench. Alrighty, well that's going to be it for today's video. My Laker fam had a lot to say on this one, as I was pretty darn sure they would. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below and let me know if you agree with Phil Jackson. Would you keep Russell Westbrook and trade LeBron James? Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Turn on those post notifications because this offseason is just getting started and we're going to be banging out these videos